Today we have to talk about this new lesbian couple alert. Yes, and the series is actually called Sleep. It's currently one season available and it has 8 episodes to watch, and each episode is like 27 minutes long, which is perfect for me. Like I always say, I really do enjoy short series. It's like straight to the point. You don't waste no time. They just get right into what is important. But before we get into more details and actually talk about the relationship that happened between MAE and Sandy, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and also let me know your personal opinion down below in the comments as well. If you guys have watched the show, and what is your personal opinion on it, and why would you personally rate it from 1 to 10? Me personally, I would definitely rate it as 7 out of a 10. I really hope there was more to MAE and Sandy, but it is what it is. I can also understand why the series had to go the way it actually went. So let's get right into further details regarding it. So basically, like I already said, this show is called Sleep. It's a new series that follows MAE as she finds herself restless inside a marriage that totally does not work. A new fantastical journey will take her to the parallel universes. Yes, at the beginning I couldn't understand it, I couldn't get it, because every day and every episode she actually made, in this case, she used to wake up in a whole different relationship, in a whole different marriage, in a whole different relationship with someone else. But at the end of the day, she was still trying to get back to her first partner, which is her husband in this case. There was a whole lot going on in the beginning, but it took me some time to actually get it and understand what was going on. So basically, you can watch the show on Raku. Yes, it's actually a streaming platform. On episode 3, there is where MAE and Sandy actually meets, and they end up hooking up and having a very, very intense, intimate moment together. And the next day, when MAE actually woke up, she found herself married to Sandy, and they actually had a daughter together. So basically, they were married, they had a daughter together. But in this case, MAE was actually the one who carried the baby, so she didn't know that she was actually the carrier of their baby. So who is Sandy? Sandy, she is a woman. She is sober, but she owns a bar. She's been sober for a couple of years, but she owns a bar. And when she actually met, MAE, they really bonded and connected on ways that they didn't thought they would actually connect. So after that night, they actually end up hooking up, and the next day, of course, when MAE woke up, she found herself married to Sandy. So now they have a family, and it's basically their daughter's birthday. So they end up going to the park where they were organizing basically a party for their daughter, for her to celebrate her birthday. But then in this case, her daughter is more connected to MAE than Sandy, and Sandy started to feel that type of way regarding it, because her daughter wouldn't listen to Sandy. She would only listen when MAE speaks and when MAE says something to her, because of course she was the one who carried the baby. And Sandy felt like MAE wasn't actually putting their daughter in place, and also letting her know, like, there's also your mom, you also need to respect her, you need to respect her the same way you respect me. And she just felt like MAE was being very, very soft and just letting their daughter do whatever she wanted to do at the moment. And Sandy, she wasn't having it, because she's a way more disciplined type of parent. So after that, their relationship basically just lasts 1 episode, because each episode is a different storyline. Like I already said, it's a different marriage, it's a different situation that MAE gets herself caught up in. So after that, MAE and Sandy, you can just see them speaking about, basically the whole episode was just about them being parents. It didn't explore much regarding their relationship, besides the intimate moment that they actually shared together. So after that, Sandy was getting into not an altercation. She was basically just telling their daughter that she needs to be more disciplined. She can't speak to, people like that. And of course, Sandy was once again looking at MAE and telling her, like, hey, you're not going to say nothing. You're just going to let our daughter speak to people and do that. And of course, MAE was like, no, she's just a kid. It's just something that happened. We need it. It's not a big deal. But in Sandy's case, it was a big deal, because, Sandy, once again, she felt like she wasn't, being seen as a parent, and only as another person to take care of her basically. So after that, May actually ends up taking their daughter to school, and after that, of course, there was a whole new episode started, a whole new situation started. But at the end of the season, you can actually see that May and Sandy, they re-encounter each other again. But at this point, you know, Sandy, she was not the bar owner, she was an alcoholic, you know, she wasn't and she had problems with substances, and she was actually in a situation with May's, you know, husband, and they actually end up breaking up in that moment. And then where you know, basically May and her husband reconnected. Yes, it's a whole lot going on. Basically, if you want to watch their storyline and see what happened between them, I would recommend you guys going to watch the whole season, so you guys can basically understand the full picture, because May, she was going through a lot. Like each marriage, she could actually see what she was good at and what she wasn't good at, what she needs to work on, what she don't, and also just to see that how much she really missed her husband and how much she wanted him back, because she actually only realized what he really means to her after, you know, that whole, you know, parallel universe situation happened. But also at the beginning, you can see that her husband's love life is very boring, you know, in my personal opinion. And you can also see that, you know, in this case, May, she's a very hardworking woman. You know, she's dedicated to her craft. She works as a manager at the art museum. You know, she's in charge of all of that. And you know, she takes care of her house. You know, she's more like in control of the relationship, basically wearing the pants in the relationship. And that also ended up causing a lot of problems, you know, in their intimate connection with her husband. But we also have to give a big shout out to her best friend, because her best friend also played a very important role during the series, because she was at every single process, every single episode, every single parallel universe situation that, you know, May got herself caught up in. You know, her best friend was there to help her, to support her through everything, even though she didn't understand what was going on. She thought that, you know, May was having problems that she couldn't understand and figure out why she acting the way she's acting, but she was by her side no matter what. So there's also one thing that I have to, you know, put in this, because it's not just about May and Sandy, it's not just about May and her husband, and May figuring out what she wants and what she values in life, but it's also about a true friendship, that you can see that even though if your best friend don't understand you, they will still be there to support you and to help you through everything. Especially at the end of the last episode, where you can actually see that May was apologizing to herself for everything that she have put herself through, and just basically speaking into an open matter, saying, hey May, I'm sorry for putting yourself through this. Just a letter to herself, you know, that was also something very beautiful to see. And once again, of course, her best friend showed up and was there for her, you know, so there was also something that I really enjoyed watching. So if you guys want more further, you know, details regarding every single thing that happens between May and Sandy, I would once again recommend you guys to go watch the show. Once again, the show is called Sleep. Yes, it has 8 episodes available, 1 season. I'm not sure if there's gonna be a second season. And once again, you can stream it on Roku. Yeah, it's a streaming platform, and it's be getting more popular, especially if they keep doing content like this. I will know it will only get bigger and bigger. So yes guys, that's basically it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, because your opinion does matter. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope I see you guys again at the next video, and goodbye.